Well, the SGX Nifty is looking quite okay, still retaining that gain of about 0.5% despite unease in some of the neighborhood markets. Let's straight away take this to our list of top stocks to watch out for this Monday morning. And our research team is standing by with all the details. Guys, good morning and happy Monday to all of you. Ekta, welcome back. You're starting off with a bang. Sun Pharma, I mean, there's news about this ransomware attack, IT attack. What's going on?
Well, yes, further to the company's intimation on March 2nd with regards to an IT security incident, they have informed the exchanges further to that the revenues are expected to be reduced in some of their businesses on account of this. The company is going to be incurring expenses in connection with the IT incident and the remediation, and currently they are unable to determine other potential adverse impacts of the incident at this point in time as well. So this is definitely going to weigh on Sun Pharma, but there is more news with regards to Sun Pharma. So they will be acquiring 60% shareholding in an Indian animal healthcare company, Vivaldis Health and Food, for 143.3 crores. So that's another piece of news. And Credit Suisse has upgraded Sun Pharma to outperform from neutral, target price 1150. They are very bullish on the specialty sales. They expect it to double in the next 4 years. So maybe a little bit of the negative impact could possibly be mitigated by these two other pieces of news. But nonetheless, negative for Sun Pharma. But the street is probably going to look at it on a larger scale, that yes, it is not really something which is brought on by Sun Pharma. It is possibly you need to look at it for growth in their specialty business on a longer scale. That's what analysts are saying. So maybe this news could eventually also be brushed off.
Okay, all right, Ekta. Thanks a lot for that. Well, let's hop across to Surbhi. She's joining to tell us about a couple of stocks that she's tracking, Crompton as well as Butterfly Gandhimati. Surbhi?
Over the weekend, Crompton has announced merger of Butterfly Gandhimati with itself. Now, just to alert, a year ago, Crompton had already picked up a controlling stake in Butterfly. Now, the scheme is subject to regulatory approvals, but if it goes through, the shareholders of Butterfly will receive 22 shares of Crompton for every 5 shares held in the company. Post this, the shareholder of Butterfly will hold 3% stake in the combined entity. Now, the indicative timeline for completion of this merger is 12 to 14 months. According to Crompton, the merger will unlock full potential of the combined business and enable faster execution of its go-to-market strategies. It will also enable a more efficient use of capital allocation and lead to simplification of its corporate structure. Crompton expects the merger to be EPS accretive from the first year of its being effective itself.
All right, Surbhi, thanks very much for that. We'll keep an eye out on those names. Nigel, Dalmia Bharat has got news flow?
Well, that's right. Dalmia Bharat, they are doing what they said they'll do. They'll exit all their non-core assets and they want the company, the listed company, Dalmia Bharat, to be a pure cement company. So they've made another move in that direction. So they've divested close to 42% stake that they had in Dalmia Bharat Refractories Limited. The party who's buying it is a promoter-related entity. The consideration will be close to around 800 crores and they're expecting this deal to get done in the next 30 days or so. They've given the payment timelines as well. They'll get 20% upfront, that's around 160 crores. The remainder they'll get via NCDs, and these NCDs will give an interest rate of around 8.5% odd. The key reason for sale is exiting the non-core assets. I'll tell you a couple of other positives as well, because there was this report that indicated that maybe they're looking at bidding for a non-related business like a tire business, and they could possibly do this now via the promoter entity. So that clears the air as well on that front, because the street was a little bit nervous out there. Exiting the non-core business, they'll get some money, and also if they're going to do some unrelated business, it'll be via that entity. So I'll read this as positive.
Company.
Yes, positive.
Okay, so this sounds like a thumbs up on Dalmia Bharat. We'll watch out for this stock. Abhishek is coming up with some news on SBI Card as well as Paytm. Abhishek, morning.
Morning, Surbhi. So, to begin with Paytm, they have sought extension from RBI for submission, resubmission of their application with respect to payment, Paytm Payment Services Limited. So, RBI says that they can continue with online payment aggregation business. They await approval from Government of India for past investment from OCL into the payments business as per FDO guidelines. So, once Government of India approves Paytm Paytm will take 15 days, or within 15 days they will submit their re-application to RBI, seeking authorization of Paytm Payments Service Limited to operate as an online payment aggregator. So right now they can continue with their online payment aggregation for their existing customers, and they cannot onboard new merchants. Now we have credit card data for the month of February from RBI, which suggests that the sectoral data, total credit card issuances is up 1.1% month on month and about 16.3% YOY. However, overall spends are down 7% month on month, but up close to 38% YOY. Average ticket size, that's down massively by 8% month on month and up 18.6% YOY. Perhaps, the RBI's rule in terms of, paying the rent via credit card, now that's impacting the overall spends in the credit card business for the sector. So for SBI Card, the total cards issued is up 1.8% month on month and more than 22% YOY, which is strong. However, the total spends are down more than 9% month on month and up 36.4% YOY. And average ticket size, that's down massively by 11% month on month and up 11.8% YOY. So we need to see how this rental removal from RBI with respect to a person paying their rent via credit card, how that has impacted is being seen right now. Back to you.
All right, Abhishek, thanks very much for that. Paying rent via credit cards. And of course, the tweak, as Abhishek pointing out, may be the reason for the sharp downtick month on month in terms of ticket size. We'll come back to that with more details. Well, BEL and Campus Activewear are two names which we're going to put the spotlight on. Surabhi's got details. Surabhi, hi.
I'm also watching out for Campus Activewear and Bharat Electronics. Let's start with Campus Activewear first, where on Friday, TPG divested 7.6% stake worth 806 crores. Now, this was picked up by Societe Generale, who bought 1.3% stake, close to 41 lakh shares, and Fidelity Emerging Markets Fund and International Discovery Fund, who bought 33.4 lakh and 17.1 lakh shares respectively. Bharat Electronics won orders worth 4,300 crores from the Indian Army and Indian Navy. Of the 4,300 crores, 3,000 crores worth of orders is signed with the Ministry of Defence, and this is for supply of integrated electronic warfare systems, and the remaining 1,300 crores is signed with the Indian Navy. These are multiple contracts which have been signed over the last 2 weeks. This is to supply indigenously developed fire control and surveillance tracking systems.
All right, Surabhi, thank you very much. Let's go back to Ekta. Ekta, some more news on a few pharma stocks?
Well, yes, I'll start with Lupin, where the UK regulator has completed an inspection of their Pithampur facility successfully. So that's positive news. And also, the US drug regulator completed a pharmacovigilance inspection with no observations, which is basically a scrutiny of practices and procedures for reporting adverse events of Lupin's products. So that's definitely a positive for Lupin. Alembic, their Karkari plant was inspected without any observations by the Brazilian drug regulators, and the US FDA inspected the injectable facility and issued only around 2 observations. So the street should probably take all of these pieces of news with regards to Lupin and Alembic respectively positively today.
Okay, got that, Ekta. Thanks very much. Let's quickly recap our list of top stocks to watch out for. The ones that have positive news flow around them are Crompton, Butterfly Gandhi Mati Appliances, Dalmia Bharat, Paytm, Bharat Electronics, Campus Activewear, Lupin and Alembic Pharma. Stocks with negative news flow around them are Sun Pharma and SBI Card. Okay, those are the stocks to watch today. Let's take it to Manisha Gupta now, who's joining us with a roundup of all the action in the commodity markets. Manisha, good morning.
Morning, Surabhi. Thank you for that. Well, the industrial commodities definitely seem to be doing well right now. The crude oil prices, after gaining 3.5% in the previous week, have started this week on a positive note as well. Couple of statements coming in from Russia. One from the Russian president, where he says that they are looking to station tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. And the other statement was from the Russian oil minister, saying that the output cut of nearly 5 lakh barrels per day in the month of March is on target. So lower supplies and more geopolitical tensions clearly seem to be supporting the crude oil prices there. After all that move that we've seen in the last couple of weeks, we still are trading above 200 days moving average for crude prices. So the chartists also think that there is further support going forward from here. Not just crude, if you look at the industrial metals, we're looking at copper prices trading at a 3-week highs, We did see copper gain up by 8% in the previous week. The copper demand from China has been supportive, and various statements right from Goldman Sachs to Trafigura are suggesting that lower inventories and stronger demand going forward from China could lead to further all-time highs in this year itself for the metal.
All right. Manisha, thank you very much for that. Well, we'll take a break here. We'll come back. Prakash Devan will be with us for some fundamental stock analysis. We'll talk markets with him. Later, we'll also connect with Ansuman Deb of ICICI Securities. And we'll talk about the analyst takeaways in that Interglobe Aviation meet which happened. Stay tuned. All of that comes up.
Is your